What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Rage of Abyss Week 1, continuing to go insane with Dominus Impulse, quarter-century secret rare, following the regular secret into the stratosphere, and somebody has even spent over $200 on this after sales tax, $199. And we only have one low feedback seller here before it jumps to $195 and quickly $200 on this front page. Now, I'm certainly one of the duelists that underestimated how represented this would be. I thought it would be an option in some decks. It's a staple in those decks that can play it realistically, though, if we're talking. And the regular secret has gone towards 60. I guess I just thought the restriction versus how many decks would be playing it versus how many duelists would end up wanting to chase after it wouldn't merit the amount of going up like this. But now it's taking the place of Deception of Sinful Spoils as that continues to go down just a little bit. And people are really going all in here. Mulcharmy Fulos is actually down a couple bucks. The reason that's notable, just $4 on the $140 card. Yeah, that is notable because it's not continuously upward, even though it's not the most listings in the world. It is still around the same as Deception while it's going down too. So I think with this card, it does signify we're in that chilly winter/fall market where a lot of people take the game off and come back during the spring competitive season, but we've seen buyouts on cards not slated for reprints faster than ever during this season. So if you're timing it to buy this for the WCQ season, do think about how many times we've seen like late December, early January buyouts lately instead of the regular February crazy market. And ban lists can have a lot to do with that when they drop, which you're speculating. Konami's going to drop them, when Konami's going to drop them. Trying to time optimal buying, it's just so hard, and like you're not going to get it right all the time, no matter how much you have experience with it. But yeah, interesting on another note is Rage Boxes, despite all this hype into the cards, so many pricey cards, continues to come down in price. Now it's $76 boxes with multiple sellers here, 119 from TJT Sports here. I think with this, the fact that people are willing to slash and undercut when so many money cards are inside is interesting, and maybe they're trying to get cash flow in for Black Friday, although a lot of stores usually try to use Black Friday to get cash flow. So maybe people making money moves, or just people wanting to be done with the set and get to the next one at a clear profit. I think it's good that they're coming down, but it's unexpected that they're coming down like that. Starlight Grotto is back with the channel code What's Good 10 for 10% off works over here. I took a pause with them because they were experiencing a lot of production issues, and they have cleared all of that, and now they have a good in-stock section along with pre-orders that I think look really good. The scapegoat hats were one that I actually signed on with them for, and it turns out even with my big old head, these end up fitting. I have trouble shopping for hats. Seriously, so many come in where they don't fit, and this adjusts tight where my wife can wear it easily, or I can. If you're going for something more subtle and not showing of your power level, they also do have the Dogmatica hats, which look very nice in my opinion, and they've lowered the price to $40, and you can use code What's Good 10 for 10% off over here, and those are in stock. They will ship ASAP, and I do like the direction of a lot of these. I will say I don't necessarily like work in progress mats being up on the side. I wish they would finish the progress, but I do get wanting to get stuff out there with realistic timetables, and they are working on that. The U-Bell mat looks great, and they finished that. I believe they had a Diabell Star mat that was a work in progress, for example. I'm always going to be critical of sponsors. I'm always going to talk about the issues they are going through openly, and as long as they have good communication, I'm down to work with them. However, again, I'm also going to say what I think, like, this looks good and like it will turn out good, but I personally don't want to spend money until I see what the finished product is going to look like. Again, kudos to having stuff now in hand for sales, and I do like the direction they're headed in. Dimensional Barrier over here for the quarter century secret rare is spiking. It's just good against so many different decks. And then you have Ryzeal coming too, where you can call XCs. I think I said that right. The rank 4 stuff that's coming, basically. But seriously, this is just going to the stratosphere here again. And luckily, since it's rarity collection, you have a ton of nice options on the cheap where they shouldn't all be spiking. But if you want to get a lower end version sooner than later, use that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. I'm done with the sellouts, I promise. When it comes to the Orcust support, we saw Harpoor just do a double down on its buyouts. Oh my gosh, sold out at $70+, and now the lowest listed are asking double that at $140. It'll be interesting to see where the first desperation sales go of, I gotta have the max rarity cardboard. We also do see Galatea ulti quantities going down. We see Gearsu secret rares bought out, and I would highly suggest getting Gearsu ultras because nobody wants to be opening these 10s. However, with the product that's coming out in the OCG being similar to Maven's, I want to say, like, how are we going to import this in the TCG and what reprints will come along with that? We'll have to wait and see that too. But at around 50 some odd cents a piece, I think it is probably good to go ahead and get your ultras. Also, Orchestrated Babel, which is now searchable, although you might end up going for the World Chalice again searches with your Link 1 that got announced for the deck that people are hyped over. You might want to get the super rare ones if you're interested in them, since it is directly searchable, and I think you'll want that Link 4 having its quick effect online in order to steal your opponent's monsters during their turn. Your turn, our turn, the deck. Punk is also in those leaks to end up appearing in that pack, so people have ended up buying out a lot of the Punk engine, especially at the top rarities here. That's what's going on with them, and even certain versions like Punk Foxy Toon from Grand Creators and Battles of Legend, they're starting to go up in price and down on quantity. So if you want your Punk engine, you might want to get it, but again, we don't know what kind of product we're going to have crafted and what reprints will come along with that. So get a rarity you're happy with at a price you're happy with, and don't necessarily shop with FOMO. We have Welcome Labyrinth for every single version going way down on quantities and slowly up in price, but it's not in the stratosphere yet. We see Labyrinth still able to compete, making that top cut, so people are getting the harder to get pieces slowly here. If you've hung the deck up and have any interest in having it, I would probably get the versions you want of Welcome Lab because they're all relatively nice and they are going away right now. Emblema of Oath, well, no, of there, but this we featured along with the other Centurion stuff going out on quantity. It's just notable that it's really going out on quantity right now, and people seem really active within buying for this format. The pack had a lot of hype on that, went 10-0. Abyss Shark is funny to me, you know, stuck in those dang old duels packs. Nobody wants to open duels from the deep, thus this is continuing to surge up in price around $11.50. Not the worst in the world, but still up about $4 to $5. And if you're wanting to play a rogue deck, it just feels like it gets so much more expensive from stupid things like this where, oh yeah, it's in a failed duels pack, nobody's gonna open that anymore. Already a lot of it wasn't opened, and it just ends up going up because of that. Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon and Meteor Black Comet Dragon from Ghosts from the Past have just gone up over time under my radar, but this one relatively quick recently towards $7 to $8. So if you opened a lot of Ghosts from the Past and you have that bulk sitting around, you might have some extra money you didn't know, because both of these cards have just really stonked recently, like all the way from $4 to $6. That's 33% increase. And a lot of people would make fun of all the stuff left behind in Ghosts from the Past, while I was saying, I think there's a lot of things in here that will end up going up, especially if it was exclusive to it over time. But it's just interesting to watch that actually come to fruition for some cards, and not necessarily the ones I expected. I did call Splash Mage and Red Supernova, but I didn't call a lot of the cards that ended up going up in an Orcust card in here too. But just slowly, a lot of this has been creeping. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the conversation. Check out Starlight Grotto. Again, what's good? 10 for 10% off for y'all instead of the usual 5. And we're in a weird spot in the market right now where it does feel grossly expensive heading through reprint season, and it doesn't feel like the reprints are doing what they used to because of ratios. So I want to see what these future products they're going to craft from the OCG, since we're not getting 1-for-1s. Like, we're not going to get that Orcust product probably how it's presented. Just like Maven's was still successful without fully porting it. We got a pack of sleeves. I'm just wondering how we're going to get through all this, because the reprints aren't the coolant we need, and so many cards are just so up in price right now.